Hello. Hi. Nice to meet you. What do you think is wrong with the way Americans currently or in the past have gotten their food?
The two different paradigms in food today is industrial food, which is frankly food that doesn't taste very good. It's high calorie, low nutrient, and real food is a way to think about food that is better for you and tastes better. Opportunity we have, the challenge we have in front of us is real food for everyone. And technology now enables it to be delicious. It's certainly better tasting than food that's shipped across the country. And in a city like New York, almost everything is shipped across the country for most of the year. And so we came up with this idea to do indoor farming in the city. And we're doing it in Brooklyn, 10 farms, the same containers you see on the back of ships. We turn them into an indoor farm, the equivalent of a 2-acre outdoor farm in the heart of Brooklyn.
All right, now back to Brooklyn.
So it is the dead of winter, and I am in a parking lot in the middle of Brooklyn where there are currently 10 shipping containers that are growing a variety of produce. These guys aren't using any soil, and they're using as much water as we typically use in our daily showers, which is crazy to me. Let's take a look inside.
Hello.
Hi! How are you? Good. Well, so this is your farm.
This is my farm.
How many things are you growing in here?
We have arugula, radicchio, minutina, pak choy, kale, lettuces.
When you think about farming in the middle of a city, you've really got to think about resources in a very different way, right? The first resource you think about is space. So this farm is built inside a 320 square foot shipping container, but on an annual yield basis, you're able to get as much food as you would do from a 1 or a 2-acre outdoor farm. It's kind of crazy how much food you can grow in a very tiny footprint.
They also control the climate, so they can grow anything all year round.
Yeah, this is some of the new stuff I've seeded, which is pretty cool. In the middle, I have a lettuce mix, 6 different varieties. This climate allows me to grow multiple things, and I personally am just really excited to try a bunch of stuff. I have some strawberries and poppies at the front of the farm that are really cool. They're pretty adorable. They're just the leaves right now. I get really excited about it, but you know.
The next resource that you really think about is water usage. So in these systems, water drips down through the irrigation system. It's mixed with the right level of nutrients. Gravity does its thing and feeds the plant. And then the water is all captured in a tray at the bottom and is then recirculated. In fact, this whole farm runs on about 8 gallons of water a day, which is like less than your shower.
And that's 95% less water than an outdoor farm would use.
It's like you have an entire forest in here. I love it.
These look good.
This is like the first time in a while that I've been craving a salad.
It's got a little bit of like a zing at the end.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, cheers.
The other resource that we think about is electricity, right, and energy. So you'll notice these pink lights all over the farm. The reason for that is that actually the spectrum of light that the plant uses is the red and the blue spectrum. It doesn't need all of the other colors, right? And so what we do is we only push in the frequency of light that the plant needs to grow.
Despite this, energy use overall is still a problem. In fact, 50% of Square Root's costs go to electricity. This is an issue many indoor farms have run into, and some have had to close because of it.
All of these projects are important, but in order to do it, they need to heat, they need to have lights, and so there's so much energy costs to grow locally. So a small scale one is never going to be able to be sustainable economically.
And so is this the most energy efficient that it could be, or is there kind of room for improvement?
Oh, there's so much room for improvement. We are at the very, very early beginning stages of this whole industry, right? I would love to figure out how we put solar on the roof of the farms, right? So we can take these farms completely off the grid. So literally every day, we're thinking about ways to make this more sustainable and more cost effective, quite frankly.
So what is the solution in a city like New York where so much of our produce is coming from quite far away?
I think that any project that engages with our food and the human connection with people understanding where their food comes from is great. but it's still not a solution to be able to feed a city of 8+ million people. Even if it's heavily funded, even if the price drops, it's still one solution, but not the only solution.
To be honest, what this has made me realize is that I think I really do want to go into farming. Given the growing population and densification of cities, like, we don't really have a choice. We can't just not grow enough food for the people that are living here. But yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that this is definitely part of the future of food.